that would be great. But I thought I'd start off here with the daily read, and with the daily reading. So let's pull out some cards here for the daily reading here. I don't know why I'm getting this energy, but I get this energy of literally starting from the beginning. I don't know what that is, but I get an energy of starting right from the beginning here. You may have to rerun a story or rerun the movie of your life by going right to the beginning and finding out where you're at, finding out where you're sitting here. What kind of brought you to this situation, or what brought you to this point here? It's that kind of energy that I'm getting for today's reading, which is today. Yeah, it's today, or tomorrow for some of you. Yeah, it's like going back, rewinding, and starting all over again. Okay. Hi there. Thank you for. Hi there, Dialine. Thank you so much for your donation. I'm glad you've caught us live this time. Okay, so let's get back into this daily reading, and thank you for your donation, by the way. Going back, rewinding, starting from the beginning, and it's like it's that kind of energy. Maybe something happened too swiftly or too spontaneously, and you're trying to kind of work all this out. Why did this happen? Why did that not work? And all this kind of thing. I also picked this out twice now. You know, when I was doing that, you actually do feel a little bit hemmed in here. Some of you feel a little bit trapped here and a little bit hemmed in, whatever that means. What brought you to this place? What brought you to this place of feeling like this? Okay. You know, there's so many questions to ask when you get into this kind of funk. You know, when you start to say, oh gosh, I feel like I've lost my mojo and that kind of thing. And it's kind of, yeah, it's rewinding. It's rewinding right to the beginning. I'm getting that. Rewind. And press the button, but press the button of the movie of your life. Press the button on slow motion. Wow, it's quite powerful, this reading. It's like press the button on slow motion so you can get all the details. And if you could do that, if you could buy the movie of your life and, you know, set it on slow motion so you can see why things turned out the way they did, why you're sitting in this particular place at this particular time, in this particular year, at this particular age. You may be able to figure out where you're going in the future. Yeah. Yeah, very spiritual, this reading. So, yeah, it's kind of looking at that movie of your life in slow motion. And some of you may say, wow, I wasted so many kind of years. If only I had the wisdom, that kind of thing. If only my parents had the wisdom to talk to me, but would I have listened at the time, kind of thing. So this is a journey, a movie of your life, and nobody else's, okay? Nobody else's. And And it feels, this is weird because this is like a little bit of a weird space, okay? Because this weirdness here is like, it's like you're observing the Princess of Swords. It's like you're observing from a distance and you're not actually interacting with this, with your life. If you understand that, yeah, I don't know why I pick up these energies. I don't know, but I try to reach out to you guys. Yeah, it's shedding those tears. Shedding those tears, you should have shed those tears many years ago, or and it's like your spirit revisiting the past, and seeing that person. Oh, if only I could reach out and tell myself what to do here, which way to go here. Why, for whatever reason this is happening to you, if only I could go back and revisit myself. But you can, because you can do that in a very spiritual sense. You can revisit those times and actually shed those tears that you did not cry at that particular time, because that's where you harbor these emotions deep down. You push that emotion down, and you didn't, because you had other things to deal with. Maybe you had a baby to deal with at the time. Maybe you had maybe that you had some kind of if only you could revisit yourself. That's what I get here. Because can you change this? Or can you kind of forgive this person or these people? Can you forgive this person or these people here for this hurt? For this hurt, for this stab in the back here, for doing this deed to you that you did not deserve? Could you ever, those tears you should have cried, those tears you should have shed at the time, but you never did? Or maybe you did. Or maybe you did. Okay. Now I get here the 10 of Pentacles. And, you may have had your parents saying, which it doesn't help, people around you saying, oh, count your blessings. The 10 of Pentacles, count your blessings. There's people far worse than you. It's like you can't be kind of validated for the things that hurt you. Like a normal human being should be validated. And instead of saying, count your blessings, in Africa they're starving. I really don't think that helps. But I think a lot of old-fashioned parents do talk like that because it's, it's something that's passed down to them. So, stop bitching and moaning and just get on with it, and stop, kind of procrastinating over something. And it's like, well, you can't just get over some things, and I guess lots of people actually saw you like the Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands is, this very outgoing soul and dynamic and likes enthusiastic with lots of energy. I guess that everybody saw you in that way. So they felt like, oh, you'll be okay. You know what you're like. You'll bounce back. You're so resilient. I mean, who are they talking about? Are they talking about themselves, or because not every, everybody's human and we all have these emotions. And even if you're sat here listening to this and you're about 85 or maybe 75, 85, and you were just told to brush yourself off, dust yourself down, and just get back on the horse, and you never shed. Maybe some of you may have lost a child in childbirth or a stillborn, and you was just told just to get along with it. These things happen. You're a grown up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. There's worse things in this life than what you've gone through. And you may have lost a child, which is a huge thing to try to get over. And you may be sat there, sitting there, looking back at your life. You may be sitting there at 85 or whatever age you are, looking back at your life like a movie and thinking, yeah, I remember that time. And I was not allowed to cry. I was not allowed to have any kind of feelings or feel sorry for myself or kind of acknowledge those feelings. So now they're all kind of coming back at a later phase in your life where you're starting to think, who am I? I feel lost. The reason is because some of these things you did not process, so you was not allowed to process. And, it's that kind of pull you up by your bootstraps kind of thing. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not like that. I'm so glad that I am, I like people to be transparent and actually open their heart and their wounds and show what's in that wound and share it and share that and share what's in there and try to heal that wound. Now I get here, this could be somebody you're married to, you was never able to, it's like for instance, a husband and a wife, and the wife has a heart attack, and it's all kind of shocking, and the wife ends up in hospital when it's the wife that is the one that keeps everything together. And the wife has the heart attack, and the wife is wired up on these ECGs, and it's the wife that's has to go and have open heart surgery to correct things, and the husband is saying, you'll get over it. You'll get in that kind of old-fashioned male style. You'll get over it. Stop even thinking about it. Don't even think about it. Just get over it. You'll get over it. It's nothing. It's nothing. So no matter what you've been through in that sense, people have been through much worse, You think yourself lucky. Think yourself. I hate that saying, think yourself lucky. So I get here, it's like, let's say Prince William and Prince Harry, when they lost their mother and they had to pull themselves up with their bootstraps and just get on with it. Just get on with it. Don't even think about it. Don't even talk about it. Don't even procrastinate. Why? Just pull yourself up, get yourself behind that gun carriage and get on with it. So it's that kind of thing where you never really shed those tears at the time and process that. So I get here the Lord, who is somebody who's in charge, and oh, don't even think about it. Just leave it, that kind of thing. And now, as you get older and wiser, maybe that's not the sort of person that you are. And again, like William and Harry saying, you need to process those feelings, or you can end up with mental health problems and not knowing, and feeling guilt too. You may carry guilt, and I get here that when you get to this point of at a kind of crossroads in your life, and looking back at this movie of your life here, and all the kind of mistakes your parents made, all the kind of mistakes other people, partners made, all the mistakes, ridiculous, stupid actions that other people did and expected you to just go along with it and, get over it and all of that kind of thing. I think there is this kind of the hermit here. It's like taking yourself out of the equation and just giving, this person may still be saying, oh my God, are you still going bitching and moaning about that? Can't you let things go? And you kind of think, well, you have to go and sort things out yourself here. Like the hermit. And sometimes you do need people who, who are expert in their fields. You can't just go alone like the hermit and procrastinate. Oh, I can't talk about this because everybody's told me just to forget about it all and just leave it. So yeah, this is somebody who, he's looking for a band-aid, maybe. I don't, you can't slap a band-aid. Yeah, I get that. You can't slap a band-aid on something like maybe your parents or people, your exes or your husband felt that that's the way you should do that, is just stick a band-aid on it and stop moaning and think yourself lucky. Yeah, it's kind of exploring where you are, where you are. Why did you get to this point? I do get some procrastinating, remunerating about things, and possibly doing this alone. Why did I get into this marriage? Was it because my parents just said that this is what happens? Did I choose the right person? Because I do get, for some of you, this person may be quite weak. And I get like a watery sign here, like King of Cups. And this person may be really weak, and you're expected to put band-aids on everything, and you're the one that has to worry about. Isn't it always the kind of mother, the wife, that does all the worrying? Okay. Anyway, how did you get to this point? Some of you may even think, why on earth did I even end up with this person? So I was sitting in a cafe. This reading is quite poignant because I was sitting in a cafe today, and I sat there with a coffee. I was watching the world go by, and this lady was just sat on the next table. I think she was like in a early 80s or late 70s. A really lovely kind of lady, you know, very well dressed, kind of hair in and up to, you know, just for the daytime. And suddenly she just said to me, I don't know why she said it, whether she thought I was spiritual or what, but she said, she suddenly looked up from a book at this cafe, this outside cafe, and she looked at me and she said, I have no idea why I'm even with the person I'm with, because he's always, you know, I know it sounds funny, but she's saying he's always miserable. And that's the, you know, a stranger out of nowhere just spoke to me like that. And then we got onto the subject of his parents spoilt her at him, and brought him up to expect women. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your donation. That's so sweet of you. And yeah, this lady, she sat there. She must have kind of connected in a spiritual sense with me, because I was sitting there and I was just looking around at, you know, because it was a lovely kind of historical market town, little cafe. I was looking around at the buildings and taking it all in, because I do that. I like to take it in, because I'm very spiritual. And she just said that, she said, I had no idea why something like that. She says, he's going to join me in a minute, but I wish, you know, I wish I wasn't with him. I don't even know why he even chose him as a husband. And I just thought, goodness, you know, I think there's many people out there who are lost in that sense, wondering why they got to that point in their lives, you know. So this reading here is it just seems such a lot of people. I even went into a store which sells, you know, herbal remedies, because I'm looking to try to get something for my menopause, and I'm looking at this herbal remedy for helping the symptoms. And this woman said to me, you know how I kind of worked it out. And I just don't know why this lady, I said, no, I said, well, how did you work it out? And she said, I had to, every single day, get up and go for a run. And I used to go for a run and a swim every single day. And for some reason, that kind of switched something off and helped my symptoms immensely. I said, okay. I said, what symptoms are they? She says, well, the symptoms that you're trying to actually alleviate there. I didn't say a word. And I thought, goodness, I think I even speak without speaking sometimes. And yeah, so a bit of a weird day, but I think there's a lot of women out there, and I hope one day that we're able to be transparent. We're able to say, oh, I was born to serve this life. And I was born to just put band-aids on my own situation and forget about them. You know, forget about my own needs, forget about my own wounds, forget about having a stillbirth baby, forget about not processing things like that, forget about, you know, all that horrific kind of divorce that I went through, that I just had to count my blessings. You know, all of those things. What is the point of this? I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is, this reading. I don't know. I really don't know. But today spiritually, I just felt, you know what? I may open a shop to help with spiritual healing. And just anything to that is alternative to convention, you know, to the conventional way. You know, this stiff upper lip. In England, we've got this stiff upper lip. God knows these people that served in the war, you know, in the First World War, the Second World War, and they didn't even talk about, they never even talked about what they went through. You know, and now they're able to talk about it because we're more kind of open to things like that. They actually cry when they said, I watched my friends die in my arms, and I actually saw these intestines hanging out and of a friend, and they start to cry. You know, they start to cry. All because somebody said, you know, think yourself lucky that you're alive. Some of these soldiers actually feel that I wish I wasn't alive because I've carried this torture in my head for years and years. So, as I said with this reading, everybody maybe sees you like this. And if we're going like with that soldier that who that was in the First World War at the Somme, Battle of the Somme, that was just told to go over the trenches there, and just got shot. They were seen like that, weren't they? But they're all just human beings. They're all just human beings, you know, with a spirit, with a soul. And why ignore that? Why ignore that this spirit and this soul? So I'm just saying with this reading here is to actually stop putting band-aids on, okay? And actually revisit the movie of your life and go back, although I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to. I'd rather that door be closed. But if you can, travel back, rewind and play that movie in slow motion. And why did that happen? How did I feel when I was not supposed to, not allowed to feel? And allow yourself to feel that now, guys. Allow yourself to feel that now, because that's releasing this pain that should have been released many, many years ago, and releasing that actually frees you and liberates you to stop feeling like you're at a crossroads and you're lost. You know, it's like, why was I brought up just to serve a man? What is so special about a man? You know, why was I brought up just to say that all I'm good enough for is to be someone's servant? And be grateful. And be grateful for that. Do you know, it's really spiritual, because it's like bringing back out of these these women that were servants in like these great big manor houses, like Downton Abbey, you know, that kind of thing. And there was the lords and ladies, and having these balls, all these beautiful dresses, and you'd have the housemaid, you know, uneducated because you couldn't afford an education, but these housemaids, it's saying, why is it that they have this life and we don't have this life? Why is it so unfair? Why is it so unfair? And then you would get the butler saying to this young, like, little Rose, or whatever her name is, Rose, count your blessings, for God's sake, you've got a roof over your head. Count your blessings that you're not on that street. And don't ask too many questions. So, the scullery maid. Actually, seeing as this is just a chat, guys, and it's quite a spiritual chat, come to think of it, my grandmother was worked in service, which is, worked for one of these big posh houses. I think it was Hathersage is it Hathersage in Derbyshire, and it was one of these quintessential great big houses like Downton Abbey, and they went into service because they didn't have anywhere to live. They were poor, weren't they? And they wasn't even allowed to have boyfriends and things like that. It was just so wrong. But it's not that. Yeah, I know. Count your blessings that we don't live that kind of life now. Count your blessings that. But why can't we have an even more kind of spiritually aware kind of life, and experience those feelings that we was told we weren't allowed to feel? Because why? Because those situations, your parents didn't know what to do. I said, like, just get on with it. Don't think about it anymore. I don't think about it anymore. I just slap a band-aid on it. It's life. Life doesn't work like that, because these things tend to raise their ugly heads later on down the line if we don't process at the time, So I guess this is what this reading is, this message is: whenever you go through any bad situation, don't think to yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just get on with it. I don't even think about it. Actually think about it. Actually feel the pain that you're going through. Feel every sensation of that pain and cry. And cry about that. And then when you've processed that, to actually give forgiveness for that situation. I forgive, like it's like this. I forgive that person because they did not know any better. And I did not know any better at that particular time. So I forgive that person. They felt that this was the reason, because they didn't know that this would affect anybody. It's just food for thought. It's quite interesting. The reason I'm doing this tonight is because sitting in that cafe, and I don't know whether she saw me as somebody who's possibly a little bit deeper than the normal person. I don't know if she was that, but she just put her book on the table and she just said out loud, I don't even know why I'm with this man. Well, there you go. So let's have a look here at your comments. Yvette, I have my own recipe for anxiety, and I have been through some unexpected uncertainties. First, do not panic. Make a plan, act on it, and eat, sleep well, meditate. Wow, that sounds good. That sounds good. Mary Johnson, Yvonne, yes, that's it. No one is perfect. We do the best we can at that particular time. That's true. It is true. Kiko, many of us could use some good old dialectical behaviour therapy. Like what's happening here. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there is some essential oils. I do buy essential oils. I've got a lavender and I've got clary sage, but I do tend to use the lavender quite a lot. And what's that dial-in 44? It wasn't until I cried and felt all the pain that I was able to get along with my life. Yeah, it must be losing somebody. I don't care who it is. It must be, it must be so hard to lose somebody close to you. It must be so hard to lose people close to you. So let's just go back a bit here. It is Nikki Smith. A little too sad. Why is it too sad? Because this is not about sadness. This is about bringing light back into your life by acknowledging. You obviously don't get the reading because it's the reading was somebody who is stood at a crossroads and doesn't know, which way to go. I don't know how that can be sad, in all honesty. But anyway, everybody's got their own kind of take on this, so that's fine. In fact, no one ever knows what is in the minds of others. I recently talked to someone who literally said he was waiting to be 56 so he can. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that is sad. That is sad. That is sad. No, you don't know what's in people's minds. Absolutely not. You don't. What's that, Yvonne? Why do you think there is an opioid addiction? Why do people, self-medicate? It is hard to live an authentic life. It's true, actually. It is true, Rhonda. To live authentically is quite difficult. It is difficult. If you understand what I mean by that. Janet, I know you maybe not answer questions we ask about ourselves, but I take a change. I wonder if you can feel if I will find love again after 8 years as a widow. Thank you. Oh, bless. Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, obviously 8 years, and actually losing someone, like somebody said, that is so difficult to lose someone, and kind of letting go of that feeling of that guilt of wanting to get intimate and also find a loving connection with somebody else. And again, I think it's that kind of situation where you have to rerun the movie here from the past and actually let this go, let your partner go. And if you have to do that in a physical sense, like wherever wherever you let his ashes go or whatever here, go back and actually say goodbye. And I think then you can actually move on to being open to another relationship, because then you would be in the you would be a single woman in out there in the world looking for a relationship, which again, I'm not saying that's difficult, but you have to prepare yourself. Think, well, it's no good just saying I had a lovely husband, I had many years with my husband, and I should be grateful. And again, it's another situation. I should be grateful. And it's just having that courage here. Because I get the Strength card in reverse. And the Strength card in reverse is just getting that courage to get yourself out there again. Okay. And I mean, when I say get yourself out there, is showing your high value for yourself and learning how to get back out there in terms of the manicured hair, looking as if you've been to the salon. When you go out, your hair looks immaculate because that gives it shows that you've got high value to yourself. So when you go out, make sure that you're fully your hair is nice and manicured, and you've got some nice makeup on. You have your nails done, have a nice outfit out, and think, this is my time, and I am going to, if I'm going to show myself out there to meet someone, then I want to look like the standards that I want to give out to the world. I want to give the standards out that I want to receive. Do you understand? I get I get lots of air. I'm picking up here intuitively, lots of hairspray and your hair being done by a stylist and all that kind of thing. Because I do get the 10 of Cups. I think you've always kind of concerned yourself about your family, because that comes through here, because we get like Strength card in reverse. And that means courage. And this one is you've always put your family first here, which, a lot of us do. And it's kind of saying, this is my time. And reaching out to maybe coffee mornings, friends to go out with, to share a meal with in the evenings and things like that. And make sure when you do go that, you're very nicely manicured for that evening, and that you put an extra special effort. And believe me, the quality guy will notice that you're not just going through some bereavement, that you're not just going through a breakup with a husband, that you're not just gone through a divorce, that you're actually there, putting yourself there, looking great, and that you're ready to move on. Okay, I hope that's helped. So, hi everyone. So let's have a look here at some more questions, and love all of you. Okay, and thank you for being here. If you're having problems understanding what I'm trying to say here, and you're finding this all very depressing, I think you're missing the point. And maybe this channel is too kind of heavy for you. And it's maybe it's too hard to grasp in thinking very deeply and philosophically. Okay, maybe this is not the right channel for you, because this is for like people who are deep thinkers and philosophical, and I understand completely where I'm coming from. So if I get people here who say, look, you're too depressing, you're too miserable, that's not my point here at all. Okay, I think you probably be at the wrong channel, because it's philosophy and psychology. Yeah, so let's carry on here. Yeah, I think I always think that you should never stop making. I saw some ladies out today, and they got their hair all. You could see that they've been to the salon, and all that, and some lovely clothes, nice scarf, and things like that. And I thought, that's what you should do, is actually show your value to the world by dressing how you want people to treat you, is the way that you put yourself out there. Okay, so if you put yourself out there like I am, with a cardigan on, and just not bothered with my hair and things like this, but just being authentic, then maybe there's a confused idea of who you are, because you look like a normal, everyday person, but you're very philosophical, deep, and authentic. So it's kind of, how do you want to put yourself out there to people? And that's what you want in return, in reflection back. Okay, it's very important, I feel. The channel is buffering. Sorry. Well, it's not buffering here. So, yeah, it is about balance. It is, Kirsten. It is about balance. Yeah. So, anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's just a chat, really, and thank you for coming here. I'm just going to read some of your comments here before I go. Let's have a look here. Janet, yes, I do a little too much for my two sons. I know I must start taking more care about myself more. Thank you, Yvonne. You are so kind and sweet. Hugs. Okay, Janet. Yeah, that's great. I think if you're going to put yourself back out there, you've got to think of the kind of man that you want to, the kind of partner that you want to attract, and it's just, even those coffee mornings or those coffee afternoons, if you can join one of those, you're getting yourself out there to talk to people, and that kind of thing. Always take yourself out to a busy place, a little busy town centre that's got some lovely cafes and things like that, and look how you want to attract. That's how I would advise you, and just be natural, and just generally talk to people. That's what I would advise anyway. So yeah, so okay, what's that? Kept grit. What if someone prefers just to be themselves? I'm just saying, just be yourself. But I think that I do feel that making an effort when you're wanting to meet this kind of man that you want to meet, okay, is showing that you've got high value for yourself. And look at me, you can't get any more kind of be yourself with me. I'm just got my cardigan on, and this is who I am. I'm just myself with you, and you get what you see. But I think people do appreciate when you do make that little bit effort than just what when you would normally be in your garden digging up the weeds and things like that. I feel when you make that effort, it shows that you've got high value for yourself, you know. Yeah, you can just be yourself, absolutely. But I just feel that I feel it shows you care. I really do. And yeah, because otherwise I think people think you're just getting along with your normal day-to-day things when and it's hard to explain. I know what I'm talking about anyway. Yeah, you can make it fun. I think if you're on the single scene, yeah, you can be yourself at home. You can be yourself in the back farmyard and things like that. But if you're going out to like coffee mornings and or meeting up to people for lunch and things like that, and you're kind of single and you want to attract a certain kind of person, it's kind of hanging out in those places of the people that you would like to meet, and actually making that just that a little notch it up a bit, you know, go and have your hair done at the salon, have some nice makeup. I'm not saying be different to, yeah, it's like it's so competitive, Kiko. It is so competitive out there. I think people turn their heads to people who are glamorous. I must admit, when I see a lady that's made the effort just to walk around town in the afternoon, she's got a handbag, a lovely little dress on, maybe just some simple, you know, flip flops or sandals, but not overdone. But has actually made the effort to her hair looks nice and shiny, and a bit of makeup, a bright coloured dress, and I actually made the effort to, because she's out and about. And I think people do notice that. They do notice that. And I do feel if you're out on looking for a partner, no matter what age you are, I feel making that little bit of effort, you get snatched off that shelf more than somebody who's walking around in her Oli jeans. And I'm just saying it the way it is. You know, someone who's walking around with Oli jeans, trainers, the hair like they've just come out of a farmyard. I think that you get overlooked for somebody who has got some class. Does that make sense? Especially if you're looking for a professional, classy gentleman. Just saying, okay? Just saying. Yeah, effort is everything. It shows you've got value. Even if you wear a nice scarf and a really nice lipstick and that kind of, and a nice little shift dress, all those things, and you know, they make you look as if you value yourself, and just kind of look as if you've just spent a day mucking out the horses, you know, kind of thing. Just saying, guys, okay. Yeah, I think it shows you've got love for yourself. I do. Let's say that if I, you know, if I was in, I don't know, Covent Garden or somewhere that's got little classy little cafes, and I went there just to enjoy the day on my own, but I was single, and if somebody came along, that would be great. So, you know, if you're wearing your hair in a nice updo, some, you know, nice makeup, looking very kind of classy, even when you're sitting having a coffee in a coffee shop, you would attract people because you have made that effort. I'm sure of it, you know. And wouldn't surprise me, especially if you're sitting outside, that somebody would not approach you to talk to you. And that's how I you don't have to really force yourself out there. You can just do it very simple and accentuate yourself, really. Okay. interesting subject. So let's have a look here. Oh, what's that, Channelie? Shaziz, I am surrounded with toxic co-workers. How to get the CEO to open his eyes? I'm demotivated. I would say the CEO, I would say it's his fault in the first place, because you don't allow, especially today, it's supposed to be all very, well, in the office, in the office world and that kind of thing, it's supposed to be all very transparent. And that's the way, that's the way it is now. It's all fluid, it's all fluid. And they're even designing offices so it's more fluid. Nobody's like, there's no hierarchical system. Everybody feels equal. And it's like, there was one office that I saw design, more like this in London. I think they're like having like little cubicles where co-workers can discuss things privately, but also fluidly mixed together with ideas. So I would say it's your CEO's fault here if you've got a toxic environment at work. For today, knowing about toxic people, knowing about sociopaths, knowing about narcissism, you should be right from day one educating your staff to actually help each other out authentically. And why to do this? Because it's more productive for the company. And if it's more productive for the company, then it's going to be more productive for everyone. If this CEO has got staff like this, and you can't get him to see this, and he can't see himself, then it's his fault. It's his fault that started in the first place. Okay. Especially these days, it's so vogue at the moment to have a very kind of fluid-based kind of office space for co-workers to be able to have these, to be free to make suggestions to help with to innovate and bring in new ideas into the workplace and progress forward. That's how it should be. Okay. I would say that it's possibly your CEO's fault, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change if he's allowing this. Okay. So yeah, it's difficult, Hi everyone, and anyway, I am going to sign off now. Okay, and thank you everyone for being here. Yeah, that's right. That's why we have a glass of wine, but you shouldn't have too much. Okay, to after work. Crikey, it drives you nuts, doesn't it? It really does. Okay, Robin, confidence is the key. A guy likes to meet a woman who is confident, absolutely, classy, but by all means, be yourself. Absolutely, be yourself, be your bubbly self, confident self, and also make that little bit of an effort to look classy. I think that's important. Dress nice and well groom yourself. Yeah. I think if you want to find a partner, a classy partner, I think you've got to dress the way that the person you're looking for. Absolutely. Otherwise, you're going to send out mixed signals to all these weirdos that you don't want to be, to get to know, you could be, you could look as if you've just walked out of mucking out stables, and you might have mud all over you, your hair, and then you may get approached by some sociopath who works in a burger joint because they can't visualize who you are. I mean, you cannot see. Some people, look at what's on the outside. Well, men do. They're all visual at first. Now, if you're dressed as if you would date, as if you would date nothing less than a professional person, and you're still yourself and all this kind of thing, they're not going to come near you. They're going to steer away from you, people like that, because they're going to think, oh God, that they're way out of my kind of league, kind of thing. Depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for that burger joint sociopath, then dress like a burger joint sociopath. That's all I'm saying. It's just that extra effort. What's the Lagan look? I don't know what the Lagan look is. Well, I'm not trying to attract anybody here at the moment, okay? I'm not trying to hook her partner after my partner's passed away 8 years ago. I'm just here talking to you guys, so I can just be myself. But this is another part of myself here. I don't know what kind of guy I would attract just being like this. I don't know. Maybe some kind of, I don't know who I would attract like this. But if I'm looking for a certain kind of person, if I was looking for somebody who was, somebody who had their own business, I would be myself, but I would dress that, because that's the kind of female that they'd be interested. They wouldn't be interested in somebody just being dragged off off a horse on a muddy day, kind of thing. So thank you so much, Sandra. Victorian Dream. Hello, you are so lovely, whether you are dressed up or down. Well, I'm definitely dressed down. This is just me being open and transparent here. I'm not dressed to meet somebody, kind of thing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what look I've got. I don't know. What do you think? What look do I give out here? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what is that look anyway that you was talking about. I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say here, if you're looking for a quality guy, you need to put yourself in a place where those people go, and you need to look very, very groomed, okay? Intellectual, yeah. If you're looking for that intellectual guy, you need to be intellectual too. You can't get a guy if you're not intellectual, and you're not deep and philosophical and into arts and things like that. I think if you are like that, then you can actually carry a book around with you. Can go and look around historical places, art galleries, and carry books around with you and sit and read, and looking that interesting kind of deep kind of person that somebody might want to know more of, that kind of thing. Yeah, you see, that's what I mean, Sandra. I'm fed up with pub men. Then don't go to pubs, and just be yourself. and think about the person you would like to meet.